All right, Miss Melissa, this is my awesome audience of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mr. Eric is going to hold the camera. All right, my speech begins now. Who here can honestly say that they have something in their life that means the absolute world to them? It could be family, it could be a job, it could be friends, it could be like anything of that sort, completely related to life in general. But there was one thing in my life, like one aspect, you could say, of my life that I would be completely lost or feel so lonely without. You might be expecting me to say Jesus. Yes, Jesus saved my life. Jesus is everything to me. He died on the cross so that I could, live forever. And Jesus is the ultimate authority and number one person I go to in time of need. But that isn't what I'm referring to today. I'm referring to something that, if you think of it in a worldly sense, is full of disgusting, vile, inappropriate behaviors and word usage, but in a spiritual and godly sense, can absolutely change the life of anybody who might come across this aspect in more of a Christian way. And what I'm talking about is music. Music has been important to me. And it's been in my life ever since I was little. I haven't really known a lot of anything else. It's what I spend my time doing currently, and it's something that I feel called to make my career, my full-time ministry. Music is a deep-rooted passion of mine. It began when I was just a little guy, and I would listen to my dad play guitar. He loved to play like the classic 1970s and 1980s stuff like Eric Clapton, Leonard Skinner, Merle Haggard, Hank Williams Jr., stuff like that, Bob Seger, among countless others. My brother, who is just 4 years older than me, picked up the guitar as well, and he's played ever since I can remember. My mom has always been a good singer. I used to go to the county fair when I was little. My mom would she would do what they called the Walmart free stage. Anybody could sign up and go on and perform. She would go on there for like 30 minutes with her friends and just have a blast. She would also do different karaoke events at like bars and stuff. I don't know if I can say that in my speech, but I am. Just being real. She would do things like that. She even had her own karaoke machine that she had set up in her room, and she would just sit in there like all night. And she could pick a little bit on guitar too. She would do that, play karaoke at the same time. It was kind of cool. Music is something I've never lived without. It's like I said, ever since I was little, my parents, my brother have always been musical people. When I was probably 7 or 8, I got my very first drum set. For whatever reason, I was more intrigued with drums than I was with vocal or guitar back then, which is really weird because my brother and dad played guitar. You would think I'd pick that up, but I guess I was a little different. When I was 10 or 11, my brother and I entered our school talent show. That was fun. I played drums, he played guitar. We took the honorable mention prize, which they're probably like, oh, bless their hearts. I remember being really sad and depressed that we didn't get like number 1 because I thought we were awesome. And we got the loudest cheers out of anybody, which didn't make sense to me, but whatever. Around middle school, I gave up playing drums. I just kind of stopped. My brother's friend sat on my drum set and broke it, so I didn't really have a means of practicing. Yeah. So in the meantime, I started singing a little bit more. And all throughout middle school and high school, I was in choir, loved choir. At high school, I got saved and started going to church. I began getting the opportunity to lead worship from my youth group and being on the Sunday morning church-wide worship team. Graduating high school, I went on to community college for a year, and I was in show choir and things like that. I began to invest in interest more towards becoming a singer as opposed to anything else, applying to music. Right now, being in a school of ministry, I have plenty of opportunities to use my talents and giftings on a daily basis. On my church worship team, I get to play drums. I practice that quite a bit. Drums have never really been a true passion for me, but it's developing, and it's come a long way, more so than it was before. And I enjoy it a lot more now. On my school worship team, I get the opportunity to sing and sometimes lead worship in my church's youth group, as well as when we get to travel and do ministry with some of the awesomest people, some of which are in this room right now. Last summer, on a Sunday morning, I felt the call of God in my heart. I always knew that I would be in the ministry, but I didn't really know what I would do. I came here and I was here for two years before I realized, what I what God would have for me in the ministry, I found out that morning that I'm called to be a worship pastor. I've had a desire and a passion for music, like I said, ever since I was really little. It's something I've always wanted to do, and now I'm called to make a career and a ministry out of it. The fact that I'm called to do something that I love makes me super excited about, life and the real world, and beginning to allow God to speak through me and help change people's lives and help people get on the right track towards Him. Jesus saved me in an incredible way. Who knows what I would have done with my life if I didn't seek Him and pursue Him the way I do. Music is something I will stay interested in for the rest of my life, and I couldn't see myself doing anything else. This speech ends.